Hello, this is Ms. DB. In this video, we're going to review what like terms are and how to simplify, and sometimes we'll use the distributive property to simplify. And then we're going to get into solving equations where you have to simplify one side or the other of the equation before you can solve. So the first part, we have a review of combining like terms to simplify. And to simplify an expression means that you will combine like terms, that you will only have one of each variable remaining in your expression or in your equation if you simplify an equation. So in example A there, we see that to combine 7x plus 2x, you put the 7 plus 2 together and get 9x. You do not have to rewrite it like that. You can just write 9x because 7 plus 2 is 9. Now, if there's more than one variable, then you have to be a little more careful. They use circles, red circles around the 5m squared and the minus. I'm going to make my circle a little bigger because that minus sign has to go with it. So we have 5m squared minus 3m squared. And then they used a green hexagon for minus 2m. There's only one of that, so doesn't have any like terms. And then they have this purple box around the plus 8. I don't have a purple color. Let's see. Here we go. They have plus 8 and plus 6. Those constants are also like terms. Then they rewrote them next to each other. That's a good idea to do it, especially if there's a lot of things going on, like in this problem. And then you put the like term parts together. So 5m squared minus 3m squared is 2m squared. The minus 2m just gets written down because there were no other terms that had an m. And then 8 plus 6 is 14. So this is your final answer. This is as simplified as far as it can go. Don't make the mistake of trying to squish more stuff together. If it does not have the exact same variable with the exact same exponent, then it's not a like term and it can't be combined. So 1, 2 are pretty basic. In number 3, remember the 6f squared does not go with minus 4f, but it can go with plus 10f squared. And then also the plus 3 and the plus 5 can go together. Then looking at number 4, I have a lot of room there for number 4. You can put a 1 in front of the p, and then you can write 7p minus 1p, put those together. And then don't forget the minus 9. Now the next part has the example again where if you have more than one variable. So here we have a k and an n squared. So the n squareds go together and the k's go together. So there's really nothing different here than if it was an f and f squared. If they're not the exact same variable, then you can't put them together. Let's do number 6 together. So 6, we have 4x, I'm just rewriting this a little bit, plus 5y. I'm going to write minus 1y, and then plus 3x. So the parts that go together would be the 4x plus 3x. They're the same like terms. And then also like terms would be plus 5y and the minus 1y. You can rewrite them all next to each other if you want, or you can go ahead and say, well, 4x plus 3x would be 7x, plus 5y minus 1y, 5 minus 1 would be 4y. Don't forget that in between your terms, there always has to be a sign. So if you wrote 7x 4y here, that would be wrong. You need the plus sign in between to show that this is two separate terms. Let's move on to the next section. This is mostly just practice. And then here's some more practice with the distributive property. Oh, all of these got duplicate numbers on them. So in number 10, you're going to simplify first using the distributive property and then looking for like terms. So remember that the distributive property means that you take the number on the outside times each term on the inside of the parentheses. So for number 10, you'd have 7 times t plus 7 times 8. This is distributive property really means you're distributing multiplication over addition. and then minus 5t. I'll just write that at the end so I don't forget about it. Now we simplify. 7t times t is just 7t. 7 times 8 is 56 minus 5t. And you're not done because we do have like terms. We have 7t minus 5t. So 7t minus 5t is 2t, just like 7 teacups minus 5 teacups would be 2 teacups. And then the plus 56 just gets written at the end. In number 11, this one's interesting. You'll be doing the distributive property twice. So you have 2 times x plus 2 times 3, and then 3 times x plus 3 times 4. So you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 things. They're all pluses, and some of them will be like terms, and you'll be able to combine. All right, let's move on to the next part. This is the new information, combining like terms to solve algebraic equations. Sometimes one side of the equation, or sometimes both, can be simplified before we solve it. So in this problem, we have 9x minus x. I'm going to put a 1 there. We do not add 1x to both sides. We're not going to right away look for how do I undo, because x is the variable and it appears more than once, x and x. So what I'm going to do instead of undoing something is I'm going to, since they're on the same side of the equal sign, that's very important, they're on the same side of the equal sign, they're both on the left, I can combine like terms. 9x minus 1x is 8x. And then I put my equal sign again, and then the 136. Now you solve by undoing. 8 times x, the opposite of multiplying by 8 would be to divide by 8. So I would divide both sides by 8 and get 17. And we can check this by putting it back in our original problem. We would have 8 times 17, oh sorry, that's 9. 9 times 17 minus 17, just x would go there, or you could do 1 times 17. And I want to see if that's equal to 136. So 9 times 17 is 153. I'm not sure you can see that completely. It won't move very well. 153. And then I have to subtract 17 from that and see if I get 136. I do. So this is 136 equals 136. So I know then that my answer is correct. So on your problems, the next batch of this worksheet is you're going to simplify, and then after you simplify, you will solve the equation. So on these ones, you'll just have to simplify one side of the equation. So number 13 has been started. We have 6n minus 4n, and those are like terms, so I would get 2n. And then you just need to divide both sides by 2 to finish this off and find what n is equal to. In number 14, you need to add 9g plus 8g together and then finish it off. So most of these will be pretty easy to solve once you simplify. Now there's a few of them where we're going to do the distributive property first. Now number 16 looks like a lot of steps, so let's work on this one together. First you're going to take 7 times 3 and then 7 times x. So 7 times 3, and then there's a plus, 7 times x, and I'm going to write all the rest of this material down too, plus 2x equals negative 6. So 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times x is just 7x plus 2x equals negative 6. Now I can combine my like terms. I have a plus 7x and a plus 2x. They're like terms, so I can add them because 7x plus 2x is 9x. Give myself some more room here. So now I have 21 plus 9x equals negative 6. So this is some real algebra here. I will subtract 21 from both sides. Why do I subtract 21 from both sides? I do that because the variable is x. X is being multiplied by 9, and then that has 21 added to it. So the first thing I need to get rid of or undo is the 21. So I am subtracting 21 from both sides. That leaves me with positive 9x is equal to negative 6 minus 21. It's negative 6 degrees outside. It drops another 21 degrees. Now I'm at negative 27. Very cold. Now I have 9 times my variable of x. The opposite of multiplying by 9 is to divide by 9. And I end up with x equals negative 3. So there isn't any problems on this worksheet that are any more difficult than that one. If you didn't think that was too bad, then you'll be all set to finish the rest of this worksheet up. So let me know if you get stuck, and we're going to keep practicing solving equations for another week or so you'll have time to learn this skill even better. And this is one of the most important skills in algebra and in all the math to come. So it's worth learning it well. Thank you very much and have a wonderful